Is Wolf. I'm back. That actually didn't take me as long as I thought it would to put all that stuff away. We are now on to the normal Christmas stream. Here I am, back. Oh, wow, that was. Here I am back with with Black Ops Cold War. Yes. So let me make sure everything's working. Okay, yeah, we're all good. So, if you didn't see the first part of the stream, pretty much I just complained for like 45 minutes. No, I set up it was kind of a skit. I had a projector against my wall and like a laser pointer, and I started out like an earnings call type of presentation, and then I kind of went into just just various real life stuff mostly. Weirdly, well, okay, I'll talk about it in a minute. Let me get playing zombies, and then I can talk about stuff. It's doing this again. You know, this I'm playing on Xbox this year, Xbox Series X. And I just want to show you guys. It says you haven't played the campaign in over 60 days. This is literally. Oh wait, okay, I guess I have not played the campaign. Oh, okay, I misread that. I thought it said you haven't played zombies in over 60 days. I was like, bro, I literally just played zombies like 2 hours ago. Yes, so let's make sure everything is all set. Changed my operator again for some reason. I want to play let's play as Woods. And create my match. Wait, hang on, I gotta remember how to do this. Create my match. Die Machine. I might play some Forsaken though also, I'm not sure. Let me jump into it. What I was saying, yeah, so I had that stream set up and I kind of taught for like a while. Something weird that I just noticed though is that in my on my channel, it seems like for some reason that stream is only showing like a minute of the stream if you try to watch the recorded version. I don't know if it's like processing still or what the issue there is, but I noticed that in my like channel like dashboard I could still watch the whole video, so I downloaded it really quick before it like glitches out any further. And if it comes down to it, then I can re-upload it because it downloaded the entire version of it. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this stream also. But yeah. So anyway, Christmas stream. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve Eve. It's about to be Christmas Eve. It actually is Christmas Eve in a lot of places right now, but it's still like an hour till it's Christmas Eve where I live. Is this gonna load? But yeah, I usually do a stream on Christmas. And for the past couple of years, I had done it specifically on Christmas Eve, and I would play from like 10 p.m. to like midnight or sometimes 2 in the morning or whatever. And I was gonna do the stream again on Christmas Eve this year, but oh, whoa, why is my game like? Why is this running not great? Hang on, am I playing the Series X version? Hang on, give me 1 second. Let me investigate this really quickly because something seems off here a little bit. But I can still talk while I'm looking at this. So yeah, now my Xbox is being slow. Did the game just crash? I think it did. What? What? Yeah, this is the Series X version of it. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe it was still just loading in. That looked really bad for a second there. Yeah, so normally I do the streams Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. But this year I decided to change it up because for one, I had already been thinking about moving these to Christmas Eve, and I just kind of wanted to test that out because doing these on Christmas Eve, like, it's fun, but the only issue is that, like, so for one, if you're waiting for Santa, you probably want to get to bed pretty early, so you're not going to want to stay up, like, half the night watching my stream. And then also, like, Christmas Eve is kind of a busy day for a lot of people, and so is Christmas Day. So I thought, like, maybe if I do these the night of Christmas Eve, like, it might be a little bit better. So we'll test it out, but let me tell you guys the story of how these... Oh, wait, okay, hang on. Whoa, I almost forgot to undo my thing again for, like, a while. Okay, there we go. Let me make sure we're all good now. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Let me tell you guys the story of how this stream started. I like to share this story every year when I do these. So, when I was a kid, I was really excited for Christmas because obviously, like, Santa coming along and everything, Santa coming to bring presents and all that stuff. And of course, I was a wonderfully well-behaved child, so, like, Santa always visited me. Um, and, so, like, I would be really excited about it, but then sometimes I would wake up too early. Like, I would wake up really, really early on Christmas Day, and it would annoy my parents. And then the one year, I think it was like, I woke them up at like 3 or 4 a.m. or something, and they were like, bro, no, like, you can't do that. Like, that's way too early. And so, then, like, I started doing where I would stay up later, not too late to, like, get myself in trouble with Santa, because, Santa doesn't usually like kids, like, snooping on him, putting presents away and everything. But I started staying up later so that way I'd be sleepier and I would like sleep in more the next day. And like sometimes when I got into like, I guess it was middle school, a little bit of high school, I would start. I started staying up later playing video games with some of my friends. I remember one year, I think it was specifically Minecraft. Me and one of my friends in like freshman year of high school stayed up really like Christmas Eve and played Minecraft for a while. And so that kind of became a little bit of a tradition for me was to stay up really late on Christmas Eve. And then, I started doing the channel, doing YouTube stuff and everything, and I decided to kind of turn into a concept for a stream. And that's kind of where the idea came from. But this year I shifted it because, for one, I had already been thinking about shifting it to Christmas Eve, like I mentioned earlier, for different reasons. But this year in particular, a lot of people around me have been getting sick, and I kind of mentioned that on two posts that I made yesterday, and well, I guess this morning, really early, and then a little while ago. Ton of my coworkers at work are sick right now. Some of my family is sick, and in particular, so my mom actually was feeling not great like 2 days ago, and then especially yesterday, and I was like, oh crap, like if my mom's sick, like I might get sick, but long story short, that actually turns out to, like, I don't know for sure if my mom actually caught something, but it seems like she's pretty sure it's actually like an allergy thing, so probably not even contagious. But either way, I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of my good health and go ahead and do the stream tonight, rather than like risk it in case I do end up feeling ill tomorrow for some reason, which hopefully I won't. I don't want to get sick at all, but I'm kind of honestly a little bit of a germaphobe now. But yeah, so decided to move it to tonight. Also, the other cool thing about doing the stream tonight is, which I need to pull it up right now actually, Santa Tracker starts tonight. So Santa, even though here in North America Santa comes on the night of the 24th, Santa shows up to other places around the world earlier. So throughout Christmas Eve you can watch Santa doing his thing. You can watch Santa doing his thing all over the place. Like, I remember, you can see him go to Europe, you can see him go to Africa, Asia, all that stuff, which is really cool. So that's another thing. Sometimes on Christmas Eve, I'll stay up really late and I'll watch Santa start his thing. I look at NORAD Santa Tracker. That's the Santa Tracker I prefer because they've been doing it like forever. Yeah, so that's another cool thing. And it says on NORAD's website right now, it says he's still 4 hours from going. So I don't know for sure if I'll actually stay up or stream that late because that's going to be like 3 a.m. for me, I think, which is pretty late, but that seems about right. But it's cool because like if you look at the NORAD Santa Tracker website like really late like that, like when Santa's getting prepared to go, they actually have like a thing that will tell you like what he's doing minute by minute. So normally during the day, it'll say, Santa is going to visit this place next, and he's like this many miles from this place, and that kind of thing. But if you're watching it like right when he's starting, it'll say like, oh, Santa's doing a test run with Rudolph, or Santa's kissing Mrs. Claus goodbye, and things like that. Yeah, I just think that's really kind of cool, especially because probably not that many people actually see it. Well, okay, I guess maybe people on like the other hemisphere of the Earth maybe see that a little more because it's a more reasonable time of day for them. But I remember when I was a kid one time staying up to see that and finding that out and thinking it was really neat. But yeah, so here we are, Christmas stream, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And this year I am playing on Xbox Series X because I think this is the only console left that I haven't played it on. I did a stream the one year on PS5, I did one on PS4, and then I was gonna do one on Xbox Series X last year if I remember right. But then what ended up happening was, and I talked about this before, but like the Black Ops Cold War is like weird on Xbox because there's like two versions of it. Like there's not like a smart upgrade version of it. Because, you know, sometimes on, like, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, if you buy a PS4 or Xbox One version of a game, then it will, like, automatically upgrade itself on the newer console. But for some reason, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War doesn't do that. So, but yet the case will say, like, just Xbox either way. So, my point is, it's actually kind of hard to find a Xbox Series X copy of Black Ops Cold War because the packaging looks so similar to the Xbox One version. And so last year I accidentally bought an Xbox One version of it. But yeah, now I have this Series X version of it, and now we're playing it on here. And so, I don't know, next year, like, because I usually do Cold War, maybe, depending on, like, I don't know, maybe I'll try to play it on PC. But I don't know if my computer can actually run it, so maybe I would just swap back to PS5. We'll see. That's the thing for next year. I actually did a stream back in July where I played this because I did like I figured, you know, Christmas in July or whatever. And I had just bought it and figured I would test it out and make sure that the stream setup worked and everything. But yeah, and it's crazy to think that that was like half a year ago. So, I'm trying to think of if there was anything particular. The thing with doing the stream tonight is that like I had a little bit less time to prepare for it, so I can't remember like exactly all the things that I wanted to talk about. But you know, usually I use these Christmas streams as kind of an end of the year wrap up sort of thing. You know, last year I feel like last year was a lot of catching up with stuff for me because it was the first year that I was back home. After I think it's been so long now that I kind of forget. So it was the end of 2023 when I had gotten back from grad school, and then 2024, and then now it's 2025. So last year was the first full year that I was home from grad school, and that was like I had a lot of catching up to do with like doctor's appointments, visiting family, getting myself set up with like a job, that kind of thing. This year has been pretty busy for me too. It kind of sucks because I feel like this year I've been interrupted by a lot of things. But this year has been pretty good overall, I'd say. Even though it's been a little bit of a nothing burger of a year. I feel like I really haven't done that much this year. One nice thing is I got to visit my girlfriend a lot this year. We got to see each other a lot. So that was really cool, and she got to come and visit the US for the first time. That was only a couple months ago. I actually have a video with her if you guys want to like hear her voice and like see how we interact with each other. She's wonderful. Love her very much. We've been dating for quite a while now, actually. So yeah, that was really awesome that she got to visit the US, and I got to visit her in the UK twice. And then actually last year, just before it became 2025, I got to see her at the tail end of 2024, so almost kind of 4 times. So I got to see her a lot, which was really fun. And then alongside visiting her, you know, she lives in the UK, so I got to go and visit the UK some more again. So that was really nice. Yeah. Yeah. If I remember right, aren't there like, yeah, you can inspect weapons in Cold War? You know, I've got to say, I've noticed that, and it might just be my perception or maybe a setting that I have on here, Cold War doesn't seem to run as smoothly on Xbox as it does on PlayStation. And I might be imagining that, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's running as fast. Like, it feels like it's not at 60 FPS, but I might be wrong about that. I ended up screwing around with some settings before I started the stream, and it seemed to make it look better than it was. So maybe it is 60 FPS now, I'm not sure. But yeah, I need to go and unlock the Pack-a-Punch like ASAP too. I keep forgetting to do that. What else did I do this year? Well, there was the whole adventure with sleep apnea. So let me summarize that quick, because that was quite the deal throughout the year. So yeah, and that actually kind of was what screwed my year up quite a bit, because that ended up costing quite a bit to get taken care of. But I was having stomach issues, and like I ended up going to see a doctor, and I've told this story before, so I'm gonna give like a very abridged version of it now. But went to see a doctor. Doctor said, "Oh, maybe you have sleep apnea," and I still don't quite understand where she connected those two dots. But she ended up being like, I'm gonna send you to a sleep specialist, and I ended up going to see a sleep specialist. Turns out that I do have sleep apnea. I got mild sleep apnea. And so I had to figure out a way to get that treated, and it was either like CPAP or mandibular adjustment device, which is like a mouth guard thing you put in at night to move your jaw forward, or there was like a tongue exerciser thing. Went with the mandibular adjustment device, and it actually works really well. I have noticed like significantly better sleep since I started using it. Sleep apnea is a little weird though. I think it's one of those things that maybe some people like freak out a little bit more than they need to about it. But anyway, got it treated, and that actually, yeah, I've noticed a very big difference ever since I got the mandibular adjustment device and just being more awake all the time now. So got that treated. The only thing was that the mandibular adjustment device is like really expensive, and also right before that, I also had gotten diagnosed with bruxism, which probably is part of the sleep apnea, because those kind of can go hand in hand. So I had actually just bought a separate separate mouth guard thing before I had gotten the one for sleep apnea. So I ended up spending, that was like really expensive too. I want to say that was like $1,500 or $2,000. So it was like $5,000 on mouth devices kind of out of nowhere, which sucked because that wiped out a bunch of money that I had saved up throughout the year. But anyway, now that's like not so horrible anymore, I guess. At least I've got that treated. But yeah, so that kind of screwed up the year though, because like it just ate up a ton of my money, and then everything has gotten so expensive here in the US, which I talked about that during the first part of the stream. But yeah, so that was an interesting thing. Plus the other thing too is like it wasn't just expensive to get the mouth guard and stuff, but it was also expensive because like I didn't really have to pay anything for the doctor visits because my insurance through my job is really good, as I had mentioned. But like it was kind of far for me to go visit that doctor, so like I kept having to drive all the way there, and that costed money because like gas and everything. And yeah, so I've been trying to save up money now though. Yeah, and I actually have managed to save up a pretty good amount recently, which kind of surprised me because went to visit my girlfriend, thought I was going to end up spending a bunch of money, but I actually didn't end up spending very much money on my most recent trip over there. I think that was partially because stuff is actually cheaper in the UK right now. It was like not that expensive for me to buy a bunch of snacks and stuff when I went to visit her. So yeah, but that was one of the big things. Otherwise, well, okay, something kind of sad that happened this year. My granddad passed away. That was actually relatively recent. It was one of those things that was like kind of, I don't want to like compare it, I don't want to like compare people passing away, but it was a similar situation to my dad where like we kind of knew that he was like didn't have a ton of time left because he had been running into some health issues and stuff, and he was up there in age. So he passed away, which was sad, but it was another situation where I think like everybody in the family kind of knew that was coming, so we were all sort of prepared for it. But of course, it's always sad when somebody passes away, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, so I figured that was like I it's awkward to bring something like that up, but I feel like it would have been more awkward if I just kind of glanced over that, because that is something important that happened this year also. What else? It's weird. I feel like I had a lot more to say on the stream, and then now I'm just kind of like this year was kind of boring in some ways. Found out about a bunch of cool local arcades throughout the year. That was something that I did more so in the beginning of the year, but I still have been going to arcades and stuff. Also some casinos, which I try to not talk about gambling a lot, even though I usually mention it on streams, like if I went gambling. I don't like to get into specifics because I know that some people get like uncomfortable when you talk about gambling and stuff, but found some local casinos and stuff that was kind of cool. and arcades and stuff like that. So I'll have to go back to some of those soon. I've been thinking there's one arcade in my area that has a bunch of the Japanese rhythm games that are really fun to play. But weirdly enough, I looked, they have a list online of their games, and it almost looks like they may have gotten rid of some of their rhythm games, which kind of concerns me. So I'll have to go and check and see if they still have those or not. I would be very surprised if they got rid of them, though, because that was like one of the main attractions. So I think something probably just got misedited on their website with that. But yeah. What else? I feel like I had something else to say about that arcade, but I can't remember what it was. I need to, after this Megaton, I should probably craft a one of those flaming bow and arrows, because those are really good at getting rid of the Megatons with, because the Megatons are so annoying in this map. Something else kind of similar to arcade stuff. I went bowling this year a couple times and actually really enjoyed it. So I've been thinking about maybe like trying to get my own bowling ball and doing some more bowling, because bowling is actually, at least at the places in my area, it's actually one of the few things that is not ridiculously expensive like right now. So I might have to check into that a little bit, because I actually had a lot of fun when I did that one day. And I mean, it's a little expensive to buy like a bowling ball and bowling shoes and everything, but I don't think it's like crazy. So, stim shot, this is really useful. I was talking earlier about how, like, Christmas Eve, like, I used to have the tradition of, like, trying to stay up really late on Christmas Eve. Another thing worth mentioning, Christmas Eve is also a really important holiday to me, because it was always, and this is another thing that I kind of talk about like every year, but I'm going to talk about it again. Christmas Eve is always a important day to me too, though, because like it also is a day where like it was always important because it was like the last normal day before Christmas. Like a lot of places close on Christmas Eve. Oh wait, I wanted to get this gun just because it's kind of interesting to use. A lot of places close on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, of course, and so like Christmas Eve is sometimes the last like normal day you get for a while, like, whoa, my stream quality is like plummeting. Hang on here. Stream health. Yeah, I don't know why my stream kind of keeps bouncing around a little bit. It seems to be doing okay. But, yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Could be possibly because one of my family members is streaming some stuff in another room. Might be eating up some of the internet. I'm not too worried about it, though. It seems to be doing alright for now. Yeah, what was I on about? I don't even remember. Well, okay. I guess that's the end of whatever I was saying. Oh, Christmas Eve. I was talking about that. Yeah, the last, like, normal day. I especially remember because, like, when I was in school, a lot of the times I had school on Christmas Eve for some reason. It was always, like, you know, you'd have, like, a Christmas party in school and stuff. And you know, they would also talk about, like, Hanukkah and stuff, too, which I always found interesting because I'm not Jewish, but like I've had like I have and like have known, like I have a lot of Jewish friends and I've known a lot of Jewish people throughout my life. So that I always thought that was kind of interesting to learn about when I was a kid because it was like different, you know, it was like a different tradition than I was used to. And I always remember like there would always be they would always do a little something like with Hanukkah, like they would always talk about it in school like a little bit. They would spend some time talking about it, and I always thought that was really interesting. But yeah, Christmas Eve, like, there would always be a little Christmas party, and, like, you know, that was always kind of cool, and a lot of times it'd be, like, the last time you would see your friends, unless you, like, made an effort to hang out with them over your Christmas break or whatever. Yeah, it was always important for me that way. And like my dad was one of the people that kind of introduced me to the concept of Christmas Eve being important. I don't really remember us ever doing anything specific for Christmas Eve, but I just remember like it being kind of another thing that he introduced me to that kind of became like a important thing to me. Um, yeah. Speaking of school though, I was trying to think like as I've been preparing for this stream, I was kind of trying to think of like different stories to tell on this stream. Um, when I was in high school, I used to get pretty lucky in terms of like my winter breaks because my winter breaks would actually be like kind of pretty long. um, I remember like we would have hang on, is my stream like dying right now? Because it sort of seems like it is. No, maybe it's all right. It's like it's weird. It's like my voice is fine, but like the video is cutting in and out. So I don't know. That's fine, I guess. It gets weird when my voice cuts in and out. That's when it gets kind of problematic. Um, yeah, what I was saying though, I used to get actually kind of lucky in terms of like my winter breaks for school because like we actually from like late November to early January, I used to get out of school a lot actually, cause and then so Thanksgiving break, and then you'd have like Christmas, you'd have December, and you'd have to go to school in December. But then sometimes you get snow days every now and again. Where I lived, we didn't really ever get like snow days because it was in the north. So we didn't really get that many snow days. But sometimes you get snow days or 2 hour delays or whatever. And that was always kind of nice. And then like Christmas break, you usually get at least 2 weeks. But then the thing was, so after Christmas break, what would end up happening was like state exams. So state like a lot of states have statewide exams that they do to like I don't know, I guess it's like to make sure students are paying attention or whatever. And so my state that I was living in had state exams. And one of the things that like they would do though is that they had two different testing times throughout the year for state exams. So you had the normal ones at the end of the year, which kind of made sense, but then they also had state exams in January. That if you did bad on a test, you could retake the test in January. The thing was, though, that my school was so big and so many people would retake the tests that they would actually not have classes during that testing week. Now, some schools did. Some schools would have class during the testing weeks. But since my school had so many people in it, they didn't have any classes. So it was like I would get out of school for Christmas break, and then I would have like a week of class, and then I would get out of school for like another week because they would have all those retaking things. And like I actually don't think I ever had to retake any of the tests because I usually did pretty all right. Yeah, well, not pretty all right. I did pretty good on state exams. So I never actually had to retake anything. And even like at the end of the year when they would do exams and stuff, sometimes I would get out of school like, or well, actually, no. Every now and again there would be teachers who would do their stuff like they would do like midterms or whatever in January during the testing week. But normally I got away with not having to go in that week, which was always really nice, and it was kind of like an extra week off of school. Especially because it was like not that long after Christmas. So if I'd gotten like cool gifts for Christmas or video games or whatever, then I could actually like spend time playing them. Um, yeah. So I have a soda with me today. A while ago I had mentioned having a Jones soda with me, and I kind of reviewed it a little bit on stream, I guess. But that was weird. It said that YouTube wasn't receiving any data for a second there from the stream. So today I have a frosty orange soda with me, which they're good. These are actually really good and they're really cheap. They're like even cheaper than Faygo. Originally I was gonna try to get a Faygo. I had a little bit of a busy Christmas Eve today. I had to go and run and do a bunch of errands. Something fell over. I actually had to go and I had to mail Christmas cards out because I didn't get to do it yet. Since I had been visiting my girlfriend, I was busy with that. This month actually was a bit busier than I initially anticipated. But anyway, so yeah, today I had to go and I had to do kind of a bunch of running about, and in the process, there's a grocery store near me sells Faygo, and I was like, oh cool, like I'll get one of the apple ones because they have a apple Faygo, and I've not seen it that many places, and apple flavored sodas are super underrated. They are usually so good, and yet not that many places actually make them. But they didn't have the apple Faygo, which I was really sad about. So instead, I got this Frosty, which was cheaper, I think, anyway. But yeah, it's really good. Frosties are so big. Like you can find Frosty in glass bottles, but if you can find the one in plastic bottles, they are huge and very good. Thinking, I actually, a while ago, I bought myself some PlayStation Plus, and I haven't actually activated it yet. You can't buy the PlayStation Plus cards anymore. I bought myself some PlayStation, like, money to buy PlayStation Plus, and I haven't actually bought it yet. Thinking about maybe activating that tomorrow, and then, like, playing some games online over the couple days that I have off from work, because I bought on Black Friday I bought a bunch of sports games. I bought like 2K26, NBA 2K26, and WWE 2K25, and I kind of want to play some of those online a little bit because I do really like those games. I just don't usually buy a PlayStation Plus, but I decided to the other day. It feels weird to stream right now a little bit. It's been like 3 weeks since I did my last stream or uploaded my last video, excluding the one that the Club Penguin one that came out earlier today. What ended up happening was I didn't actually mean to like go that long without uploading anything. I know I've been saying lately that like, yeah, I'm gonna be kind of slowing down on making stuff because I sort of explained it in the little bit of like pre-stream that I did, where I talked about how like it's kind of really hard to make money on YouTube, and so like I need to focus on like finding an actual like better job like in real life. But anyway, I didn't mean to not upload anything for like 3 weeks because I've been working on stuff. What ended up happening though was like I had some extra days off around Thanksgiving from work, and I knew that I had like more days off throughout this month, but I kind of forgot, so I actually ended up having to work a bunch more days in a row than usual right before I went to see my girlfriend, because I actually didn't have that much time off of work, so I had to shift some stuff around to go see her, and so I ended up having to work a bunch of days in a row, so I was really busy with that. And then when I went to see my girlfriend, I wasn't working, but I wasn't working on any YouTube stuff because obviously, like, I was all the way in another country, didn't have any of my setup, and like I was, you know, hanging out with my girlfriend. And then now I got back and I had to do some more work, and then now I have some days off, and it's like, dang, whoa, I like didn't realize that I hadn't done anything for like a while there yet. So yeah, but hopefully, I'm hoping over the next few days to maybe be able to get some stuff done, but at the same point, I also really, really want to apply for some more jobs, because I am starting to get, like, really kind of tired of my current job. It's mostly, the thing is, and I mentioned this a little bit in the like, stream bit that I did earlier, there's been, like, a roach infestation at my job, which is, like, actually starting to get pretty bad, like, I think I might have mentioned it before, and it feels weird because it's like I don't really want to talk crap about my job. Like, it feels kind of bad to do that, but like there, you know, we live in the South. It's not that weird to see cockroaches around, but it's not great to see them because like you don't want to get an infestation. But like we ended up seeing some at my job, and then like they just kind of haven't gone away. Like this happened last year, if I remember right, where we saw a few of them. Like me and my coworkers saw a few of them, and then they got it treated and they went away. But this time they seem to just not be going away. And it's actually got me like kind of concerned because, you know, cockroaches spread really rapidly. Not only that, but they also you know, they hide in stuff. They like to hide in electronics and things like that. And so I'm been like a little bit concerned because like I don't want to accidentally take the cockroach infestation home, and it's also kind of gross to work around. So I've been trying to find another job, and it just sucks because it's like it's so hard to find another job, and now like, you know, I had already been applying for other stuff every now and again, but now I feel like there's a little bit of like a time push on me for it because like I really like want to get out of there before it gets any worse. But like it's so hard to find another job that like it just makes it really challenging to do that, you know. But yeah. That being said, something I talked about a little bit, but didn't really talk about a ton in the first bit of the stream where I had that little slideshow going, was I'm thinking about maybe starting a website again. I've been, you know, actually I think I'm gonna do the mystery box. I've been I had a lot of fun when I did like the-wolf.com, that website that I had for a while. I really enjoyed doing that, but it was kind of hard to pay attention to, and I didn't really do that much on there. But now, like I remember I actually did make a little bit of money from it, which was kind of cool. And so I've been thinking about trying to make like a more complex website, and I bought a couple of books to try to teach myself how to do stuff. In particular, you know, I remember when I was younger and like there was all the stuff with Club Penguin private servers, and like if you looked up tutorials on how to make Club Penguin private servers, there's always stuff about MySQL, which is like a database program. And I never really understood what that was or how that worked, but then I kind of looked into it and realized that like if I could learn how to use MySQL, I actually have some cool web ideas that I think I can make using that. Not Club Penguin private server, by the way, because I don't want to get sued by Disney, but just like some other ideas like for some games and tools and stuff. And I've been thinking like, so I bought a book about how to use PHP in MySQL, and it actually seems to explain it pretty well in like, can I pet the plague hounds? Bro? What? When did that get added? Oh my god, okay, what was I saying? So, anyway, if I can manage to teach myself how to use PHP in MySQL and also how to use HTML a little better, maybe I can make some cool stuff for website stuff, which might be fun to spend some time on. Because the thing is, I've always been interested in stuff like this, I just never really had the time to pursue it. Or never really had the knowledge either to pursue that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. And even here on the YouTube channel, man, I've got so many ideas. I say this like every week or whatever, that I have a ton of ideas, but man, I have so many ideas. It's like, it feels like every day, like I just wander around the internet and I find something interesting and I'm like, oh wow, that would be such a neat YouTube video to make. Yeah. Only about half an hour till Christmas Eve. Another little Christmas Eve tradition from when I was younger. I used to open up a present on Christmas Eve. Like even though Santa hadn't delivered any presents to me yet, I would, my parents would get me stuff too. And so I used to get to open up one of their presents on Christmas Eve, which was always fun. So I'd have to wait until like right before bed, and then I'd open it up or whatever, and like, I usually tried to convince them to like give me a hint on it or whatever, and you know, I used to get some pretty cool presents on Christmas Eve. I remember this one year I got this like cool radio. Oh wait, why am I doing that? I bought this bow and arrow for a reason. Oh, I swallowed the wrong way. Kinda want to use the mystery box again. Black Ops 7 has come out. I've been hearing not very good things about it. Last year, if I remember right, I played, yeah, sure, I'll get an RPG, why not? It would be kind of funny to pack-a-punch this, actually. I've never pack-a-punched this in Cold War before. last year I played some Black Ops 6. It's crazy to me. This year has been a pretty long year. It's crazy to me to think that Black Ops 6 didn't come out this year, but it was the most recent Call of Duty before Black Ops 7. Um, I can't believe that it's been like it's that recent. Really, it's been a long year. Um, but I haven't bought Black Ops 7 yet because it's another one where you need to have PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer. Well, okay, normally you need PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer anyway, but you also have to have PlayStation Plus to play Zombies mode because of like that texture streaming or nonsense or whatever. So I haven't bought it because like I what am I? No, okay, I think that's the air purifier. My mom bought this like massive air purifier, and it gets kind of loud sometimes. I was like, is somebody like snoring really loud? But no, it's pretty sure it's that. Um, but what was I saying? God, I don't remember what I was saying. I keep forgetting what I was gonna say. Um. Oh, geez. I really got to get better about remembering things that I was in the middle of a sentence saying. Well, anyway, while I try to think of that, I'm going to take a little break real quick. And even though I have a soda, I want to go get a sip of water. So I will be right back. I am back. Whoop, oh, wow. Just hit a window that I didn't mean to hide. Whoops. Okay. There we go. All good. Cool. Let me jump back into the game. What did I want to do? Where was I going? What did I want to do? Well, stamina would probably be good to have, but I don't have points. Oh, where am I? What am I doing? Hang on, how did I end up here? I've trapped myself in a corner that I didn't mean to trap myself in. There we go. Okay, this is the way I want to go.
Assaulting with combat
No, I don't want a combat bow right now because I can't aim well. Oh, something I forgot to mention earlier on the kind of more serious part of the stream where I was talking about real life stuff and everything. Something I've been thinking about is actually trying to like downsize a little bit. You know, I've been saying about how everything's like really expensive, how I want to eventually move out of my mom's basement, all that kind of stuff. I've been thinking actually about maybe getting rid of some of my game collection, which kind of sucks because, you know, it's taken me a long time to accumulate all this stuff, and like I really like having all of it and everything. But in some ways it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I could use like the space and like the money that I might get for it and everything. In particular, I've been thinking about trying to get rid of my like handhelds because I really don't ever play any of them. The whole like vibe of getting rid of that stuff sort of started a while ago too, because I like a long time ago, I had a PSP and it was in storage for a while, and then the battery corroded, and then so I couldn't play it anymore, and like I ended up just never getting another one. And so I've gotten rid of a couple PSP games, but I still have some, and it's like, you know, really I just don't plan on playing or buying another PSP. Like I don't really need another one. So maybe I should just, you know, finish that off and get rid of the rest of the PSP games that I have. And at the same point, it's like, well, you know, I also, like, I don't really ever play my DS. I don't really ever play my 3DS. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should get rid of some of that stuff. Open that up, because I'm going to try to get stamina up here shortly. But even beyond that, I mean, there's even a part of me that's like, you know, I own 2 vehicles, and it's like, do I really need both of them? I don't know. It's tough because though it's like my Challenger and my truck do very different things, so it's tough to think of like getting rid of one or the other. And it's also it's one of these things where it's like I would want to keep the Challenger because like that's my nicer car, that's my newer car and everything. But at the same point, my truck is just so dang useful for like so many things. But it's older, you know, and it's like, well, my Challenger, I would get more money if I sold that. It's like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I will get rid of a vehicle, but it's just like, with everything being so expensive, it would be nice to only have to focus on like insurance and stuff like that for one vehicle rather than 2. But we'll see. Other thing too that I need to really work on though is I actually have like a bunch of computers too I should get rid of. Like I have some older computers that I've upgraded or whatever. Like I've got an old Mac Mini, and that was the first Mac I ever bought. And the thing is though, it's like now I have like 5 or 6 other Macs, and I just literally never use that Mac Mini. The only thing is it's kind of partially broken. I think the hard drive in it or something has gone bad. I need to like take a closer look at it. That actually is something I might try to do over these next few days while I don't have work. But some stuff like that, or like I have an iMac that like I was using, but then I ended up getting the newer Mac Mini and also the gaming computer that I got a while back, and so it's like, well, now I don't really need the Mac or the iMac anymore, so I don't know. Oh, now I'm sleepy. I thought the round ended.
Target down.
Even though Black Ops 7 has been getting sort of overwhelmingly negative reviews and everything, I am thinking that at some point I probably will buy it. I have noticed it's kind of crazy how fast that game has dropped in price. I think that that's the fastest I've ever seen a Call of Duty game get a discount. Like, I still see the newer Modern Warfare 3 for sale for like $60, $70 some places, and the fact that Black Ops 7 just came out not that long ago and is already down to like 45 a lot of places, not a good sign. But I am curious to play the campaign of it. I know that like I keep hearing a lot of people say that it like really sucks, but honestly it's like it's one of those things where I enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns, and the fact that so many people have said it sucks so much has actually made me curious to see just how much it actually sucks. I think it's really funny when you pack-a-punch a rocket launcher in Black Ops, or not Black Ops, but just in Call of Duty Zombies in general, because like it does this thing like it has right now where the ammo capacity is 2, but obviously there's only 1 rocket in the actual thing, so it's just funny because it's like it literally just doesn't make sense.
Well, that shuts you up, didn't it?
It is kind of fun to use. It's just that rocket launchers and grenade launchers and zombies are really impractical because it's easy to damage yourself. And also, like, the fact that they usually deal a lot of splash damage doesn't necessarily do that much damage to the zombies, actually. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of interesting things I found out about lately, I found out about this thing. It's a browser-based Call of Duty Zombies clone. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll have to find it again. I've been thinking about making a video on that, but like, you guys should check it out, even if I don't make a video about it, because it's really cool. This almost looks like a foul. Thermal scope. I played around with it a little bit, and it's pretty impressive. It's always crazy to me to think of like how technology evolves so fast sometimes, you know? Like oh, is the Wonder Fizz open yet? Can't tell. Like it's crazy to me to think even sometimes like those clone consoles and stuff that they have, how you can spend, you know, like 30 or 40 bucks and get a little box that has every NES game ever released on it. And now it's, you know, now the clone consoles are getting more advanced, so now like some of them have PS1 games and stuff like that. And it's just like, man, I wonder if within like a couple of years if we'll ever have a clone console that has like a bunch of PS3 games on it. That would be really cool. You know, of course that would be questionable legality, but like it would be cool to see. But I don't know. It's just like interesting to think about stuff like that, and to think that like, because I think that browser-based Call of Duty Zombies is mostly World at War stuff. It's like, wow, you know, that game is like, it's old. It's like 20 years old or whatever, but it's also a pretty modern game.
That shit was hilarious. Undead asshole.
Okay, actually, this rocket launcher is not that bad. I might try to double or triple pack-a-punch this just to kind of see what it does. I like to do that sometimes when I'm playing Call of Duty Zombies, just to like play around, is like see like pack-a-punch weapons that I've never pack-a-punched before, just to see what they turn into. I think my cat is snoring.
He shoots, he scores.
That first part of the stream where I did the whole projector and laser pointer thing, you know, it's kind of a last minute idea, but it turned out pretty well. I wasn't sure if that was gonna work, but it turned out well. It was a little hard to find a projector for cheap though, but I ended up finding one. And I was honestly thinking about getting rid of it afterwards, because I've never really been like that interested in projectors, but it actually is kind of cool to have one. I could honestly almost see myself using it to like watch a movie or something in the future, so I think I might actually keep that projector, because it is actually kind of nice. It's from some like company I've never even heard of, but it is kind of a cool little device to have. Oh yeah, the Wonder Fizz is open now.
Mobile meat pile frack.
I'm curious how much damage. Well, actually, no. I think I saw it a minute ago. I don't think this rocket launcher does that much damage against the. Oh God, what are they called? The giant guys. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of them. I literally just fought one. You guys know the megatons. I don't think that the rocket launcher does that much damage against megatons, which kind of sucks.
So close.
You know, for all of the Call of Duty zombies I've played, I still have never actually done an Easter egg in any of the maps because, like, the Easter eggs are usually so complicated and convoluted. I've been watching somebody on YouTube sometimes, though, just because his presentation is really good. I remember his name is Noodles, and he does zombies tutorials for the Easter eggs. And his tutorials are very in-depth. Like, they give you exactly, like, which weapons you should use, which way to do everything. Like, it's not even just a general, here's the steps to the Easter egg. It's like an actual, like, minute-by-minute breakdown of how to do the Easter eggs. And I've been thinking about maybe trying to do one at some point because his guides are so good. So I'm contemplating, if I remember right, what's the name of it? The one map in Cold War that takes place in like the secret Russian copy of an American town. I can't remember the name of it, but that one I just saw it a second ago too. That one he had a tutorial for, and the tutorial was only like 10 minutes. And the Easter egg seems a little complicated, but not that crazy. So I'm thinking about maybe trying to do that at some point. I've tried to do Zombies in Spaceland before too, but Zombies in Spaceland is actually pretty hard to do. That one's it's one of those ones like the Cold War and newer Zombies modes are actually like pretty easy compared to older ones. Infinite Warfare Zombies, even though it was a little bit easier than some of the older Call of Duties, it's still really pretty hard. So we'll see.
He shoots, he scores.
Oh, I'm out of ammo. Although I kind of would like to pack a bunch of this as well, so I might just kill one zombie and then go and pack. Oh, well, okay, I guess we're starting a new round. Guess I'll just buy ammo for it instead for now. When I went to visit my girlfriend a couple weeks ago, wasn't even weeks ago, it might have been not even weeks ago at this point. We went to see the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. That was odd. I'm not gonna spoil it because it just came out, but I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I kind of only like a year or two ago sort of started getting into it because I haven't played any of the games because I'm a little bit of a weakling for horror games, but I like the books and I liked the first movie. So I went to see the second movie with her, and it was not that good. I had seen a lot of people say like that it wasn't a good movie, and I just kind of assumed it was sort of the same situation as the first movie, where a lot of people just were like, it was Five Nights at Freddy's, so like it was never going to be a good review or whatever. Anyway, and like I kind of thought a lot of people would just be pushing it off a little bit, like the first movie. I don't think it got like horrible reviews, but it got kind of mixed reviews or whatever, and it's kind of to be expected for a video game movie. But as a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, I thought the movie was pretty cool. But the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie didn't really make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. In discussing it with my girlfriend a little bit, because she had also seen the first movie, like it almost felt like they were just like the second movie almost felt like a filler movie. Like, I think that they're trying to set something really interesting up with the third movie, especially because if you think about the Five Nights at Freddy's games, like the third game kind of really took it in a new direction. It got kind of weird, but I don't know. It's just the second movie just didn't really. The second movie just didn't really seem to do anything, and it also, the second movie ends at a point where you kind of like you figure it's still going to be going for another little bit, and it just kind of stops. So I wasn't I wasn't really a fan of it, honestly. Like, it was okay. I'm glad I saw it. I do hope that there's a third movie that adds like cool stuff, like some new stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. Really though, with how badly the second movie has been getting reviewed and everything, I almost kind of doubt if we will even get a third Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The other thing too is I feel like the whole like timeline of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a little weird because like the movies are like the timeline of Five Nights at Freddy's in the games has gone so much further now than the movies that like the movies are trying to catch up almost, and I don't know if they'll be able to.
I'm gonna put that down as another win for me.
Excellent opportunity, strike team.
Ooh, Plague Hounds. I've been watching a new show recently that I've found myself a little surprised at how much I've been enjoying it. I don't know why, but I decided the one day to take a little look at like some of the home improvement channels on YouTube, like Ask This Old House, or is it just This Old? Ask This Old House is like a spin-off of This Old House, I think. And some shows like that, and I was like, man, this is actually kind of interesting, like seeing how stuff is installed on houses and everything. And so I got on DVD this show called Homes on Homes, and it's a Canadian show, and it's this, I don't remember if I've talked about it on stream before or not, but it's a Canadian show, and it follows this guy called, his name's Mike Holmes, and he's a contractor, and he goes and he fixes like stuff that was built, like people that got, you know, improvements on their houses that weren't done correctly, and then he goes and like fixes it. It's actually a pretty interesting show, and I've been watching that, so that's cool. And then I'm still watching Tripping the Rift. I haven't watched it in a while, but I still have to finish first season of that. And forever ago I watched the season 1 of Sliders, and I have the entire collection of Sliders, but I haven't watched anything past season 1. I really kind of want to jump back into that one at some point. But Sliders is one of those shows that has just like a billion episodes. So like some of the seasons are like over 20 episodes, I think, which is a lot of episodes, especially because that show, if I remember right, is like an hour long. So yeah. This is another thing where like earlier when I was talking about how I want to find a job with a little bit of a better work-life balance. It would be nice to like have some more time to watch shows and stuff. Honestly, like, I don't know, I really wish that I could figure out a way to just be my own boss, kind of. I feel like that's the goal for a lot of people, you know, is to run your own business or whatever. And it's not even, like, I don't even want to run my own business to get rich or anything. Like, it would be nice if I just had, like, something that I could do where I wasn't held to, like, too many constraints or anything with the rest of my life, you know?
You all get the idea yet?
Even if I had a remote job, I think I wouldn't mind that as much, because like I'm not the type of person to slack. If I had a remote job, like I would still do all my work. But I feel like I'm pretty good at multitasking when I'm at home, and I feel like I would be able, like if I had a remote job, I would be able to kind of work on a lot of work stuff and also like plan out my time to be able to work on a lot of other stuff too, like YouTube stuff, or like find time to like watch like all of the mini movies and stuff that I own. Once I thin down this horde, I want to go and pack a punch this gun.
Tango removed.
Here's another random topic of conversation for me to mention. I tried tacos with corn for the first time today. And I don't mean like a corn tortilla. There's a taco place in my local area that I like quite a bit. And it's one of those ones where you kind of build your own, like, you tell them what you want on your tacos or whatever. And I've been there a few times, and I really like their stuff. But I decided today to try, like, so normally I'm pretty, like, simple with a lot of food that I eat. I'm not usually, like, a person to add a ton of things onto the food that I eat. So normally with tacos, I just end up getting, like, just meat and cheese. And so today, though, I felt like I could feel the weird look that I was going to get if I just got meat and cheese on my taco, as I usually do. So I saw they had corn, and it looked pretty good, and I had thought about it before. So I ended up getting some corn on my taco. And man, let me tell you, that was a good decision. That was really good. I mean, they put a little bit too much corn on my taco, but like it was a good taco. So I will definitely try that again. Another food that I like quite a bit that I ended up like finding out that I liked because I was too afraid to ask for it to be made like specific. Chicken sandwiches with mayo and lettuce. I never really thought that would be my thing because I don't really like okay, I like lettuce, but I don't usually like lettuce on sandwiches. When I was in the UK and like I would go to like the chicken shops and stuff there, I would be like too afraid to ask for them to take the lettuce off or to like take the mayo off or to replace it with another thing. So I ended up just starting getting chicken sandwiches there that had the lettuce and the mayo on it and everything, and just getting them the way that they came, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. So I've just kind of kept doing that, and you know, those are pretty good sandwiches. Somewhere that I've been surprised has really good chicken sandwich is Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has a very good chicken sandwich. Like fried chicken sandwich. I actually kind of want one of those now. I thought about getting that today, but then I ended up getting Mexican food instead because I figured the Mexican restaurant would probably be closed on Christmas Eve. But if I really, really want one of those Dairy Queen sandwiches, I thought like they'll probably be open at least a little bit tomorrow if I really want to sneak out and get one. I always feel kind of bad though, sort of contributing to the problem when I go to like stores late or I go to stores on a holiday or whatever. 'Cause it's like, I know that it sucks to work on holidays. Like I had to do it a little bit at that restaurant that I worked at. And I also know that it sucks when people like come into your job, you know, like 10 minutes before you close. And so I kind of hate to be that person, but also sometimes it's like, dang, like I really gotta go do this or get that or whatever, and it's like, well, I gotta be that guy today.
Fascinating. The tree's sap has been chemically altered, dripping what appears to be liquid nitrogen.
What is Strauss on about? I need to go find a workbench and craft myself another bow and arrow to take care of some megatons again. Hopefully I can manage to squeeze down here real quick and do that. Here, that one. Zombies is really hard to use menus in zombies mode because there's always stuff coming at you and it never pauses itself. I suppose it's part of the built-in challenge of zombies mode though. You know, I've had this Xbox Series X for like over a year now, a little over a year. Got it on not this most recent Black Friday, but the Black Friday before that. And I really haven't played it that much. Like, in general, I feel like it's just the current generation of consoles. Like, I really like them, but there's just so few games for them that, like, you know, as it is, I don't really play my PlayStation 5 that much, and that's kind of my main console for this current generation. And then for my Xbox, it's like I play it even less because there's even like fewer things that I really like want to play on it. a while ago I bought Starfield, and I want to play that because I know, like, you know, it's about the by Bethesda or whatever, Skyrim, Fallout. I like Fallout, and you know that's probably pretty cool. But I haven't gotten around to that. And I bought Redfall because even though Redfall got a bunch of negative reviews, it seems like something I would like. But anyway, I'll be right back. I have to go wipe my nose really quick. My nose is running. Alright, I'm back. I wanted to see... Well, actually, let's see. The NORAD Santa tracker says it's 3 hours till Santa leaves. So, yeah, 3 in the morning. Oh, God. It's going to be really late. I don't know if I will stream that whole time. I thought it would have been kind of fun, too, but I don't know if I have... If I have the energy. I really don't have a ton to talk about. Yeah. But I wanted to see real quick before I start the stream up again if the little bit of if the earnings report thing I made, if it's working correctly now or not. Because for some reason it was like it was only it's still only showing like a minute of the stream. I don't really know why. I might have to re-upload that, but I might kind of want to watch it first to make sure I didn't say anything stupid in it, because it was a little bit literal, you know. But it was kind of fun. The laser pointer that I bought for it also. I talked about the projector a little bit. The laser pointer that I bought for it, I ended up buying like a construction laser pointer because, well, actually no, I guess I maybe did talk about it. But like a lot of laser pointers online are like the pet laser pointers, and one time I bought one of those and it literally like fell apart in my hands the second I got it out of the packaging. So I was like, we're not doing that again. But then the only other thing I could find was like a construction one. And it was kind of expensive, but the cool thing about it is it also has a flashlight. And it's actually a pretty nice flashlight as well. Makes me feel like Mike Holmes from Holmes on Holmes. Oh, hey, look at that. It just hit 12 a.m. Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. I hope Santa brings you a lot of presents today, tomorrow, tonight, whatever. Yeah. That reminds me, so I haven't really even talked about Christmas that much in the stream, which I feel like I'm a little bit guilty of on my Christmas streams. Yesterday my girlfriend and I got into a whole conversation about the existence of Santa, because apparently she's a Santa non-believer. Or at least maybe she is sometimes. I don't know. I couldn't really tell. But, yeah, people are like, oh, you know, Wolf, do you actually believe in Santa? It's like, heck yeah, I do, bro. Like, what do you mean, do I believe in Santa? And like, but Santa doesn't bring you anything. And it's like, yeah, I know Santa doesn't bring me anything anymore because I'm an adult now. Like, it would be silly for Santa to bring me stuff now. Like, when I was a kid, Santa brought me stuff, too. And then, like, my girlfriend yesterday, she was like, well, how do you know Santa brought it for you, not your parents? And it was like, because it was labeled. Like, everything from my parents said from mom or dad or, you know, grandma, grandpa, whatever. And the ones from Santa said from Santa. So, like, obviously Santa was the one who brought them. Yeah, I don't... Silly. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of theories about Santa, though. I was talking to my girlfriend when I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday. I was telling her some of my various theories about Santa, and some of this stuff is things that I've said before, maybe, but I think some of it is stuff that I actually only ever posted on that website I used to have. So, I don't know if I've ever told you guys my theory about how Santa delivers all the presents so fast. So, like, that's one of the things people wonder about with Santa, right? They're always like, well, how does Santa actually manage to actually deliver all these presents to all these kids in just one night? And I have a theory about it, right? I don't think Santa does it alone. See, Santa's got all those elves up in the North Pole, and I think it would be silly, like, to just assume that the elves only hang out in the North Pole making presents all day. I theorize that part of the reason Santa's able to get all these presents out so fast is because he's not actually delivering them by hand all the time. I think that Santa works with the elves. I think that he has like delivery squads who go and deliver a bunch of the presents also, and then he probably hand delivers some of them, but I think he kind of swings through at the end and then like, you know, gives it all the final, you know, thumbs up of approval that like, yeah, okay, everything's all delivered properly. And I think he probably still inspects everything, but I think that probably saves a lot of time. I think that's one theory I have. Also, I hear a lot of people be like, you know, what does Santa do the rest of the year? Like, he only delivers presents the one night, so like, what is he doing the rest of the year? I think that there's probably a lot of legal things that Santa has to do, because if you think about it, right, like he delivers a lot of presents. And you know, the elves, sure enough, like the elves make a lot of the presents by hand themselves, but like a lot of the stuff that Santa delivers is, you know, brand name presents, right? Like Santa doesn't go around delivering like random little wooden toy trains or anything anymore. Like he'll give you like a Nerf gun. And so I have a theory that part of the rest of Santa's year is spent working with a lot of companies for licensing and also buying things in bulk. I think that Santa spends a lot of time every year going and getting, you know, deals with companies, because like, you know, there's a lot of kids on the earth. You know, Santa's got to be one of your probably biggest customers if you're a toy company or like a video game company or whatever. So I think there's a lot of time where Santa spends, you know, Santa and his legal elves spend time going and, you know, making contracts and getting inventory and everything, because like they can't make everything by hand. And then I bet they also sign licensing agreements for the elves to make some of those brand name toys. Because, like, I'm sure that, like, the elves do make a bunch of toys. But, like, if you're getting brand name toys, right, but the elves are building them, then obviously, like, there must be some sort of licensing. Like, they must be licensing the designs out to Santa's workshop for Santa to manufacture some of those toys himself. So I think that's a big part of Santa's remainder of the year. Fun fact, I actually went very near the North Pole for the first time when I went to see my girlfriend. I actually went as far north as I have ever been on this planet. When I went to see my girlfriend recently, I actually had a layover in Iceland. That was really cool. I didn't actually stay in Iceland, but they have like it was pretty much like a new route that opened up for flights in my area. And so I could fly from where I live to Iceland to the UK. And so I did that, and it was really fascinating. I didn't actually leave the airport or anything because I only had a layover, but it was cool to see, like, I could see out the window, and like when I came back I actually could see Iceland, because when I got there it wasn't daytime. They only get like 4 hours of daylight right now. But on the way back I could actually see like out the window of the plane and see like Iceland. And it's crazy because it kind of does look like you would imagine the North Pole to look like. And the other thing, too, I couldn't help but think, it kind of looks like Death Stranding. Like the video game Death Stranding, the way that the environments look in that. That's almost how Iceland looks. But yeah, that was really cool to see that, because, like, that's a new country that I've been to now, even though I was only in the airport. And even though I was only in the airport, and only a small portion of the airport, I was able to do a couple of cool things. I was able to, they had an ATM. So I got to get some Icelandic krona, which is the currency there. And their currency is really confusing. I'll talk about that in a second, though. Currency is confusing there for me, because as an American. But I got to try that. They have this soda there. It's called Appelsin. And it's actually an orange soda. And since I don't know how to read Icelandic, I accidentally bought a sugar-free one on the way to the UK. And then since I realized it was sugar-free, on the way back, I bought the normal one, and they both tasted good though. Even the sugar-free one tasted pretty good. I also watched this TV show on the flight. It was called Ice Guys, and it's this Icelandic TV show about a boy band, and it was actually like really kind of interesting to watch. And I only got to watch, like, they only had like 6 episodes available on the plane, but it was really kind of cool. And I don't know if it's streaming anywhere that I could watch it now. I'll have to look into that, because I actually kind of would like to watch it through. But yeah, that was cool. But so what I was saying about the currency, yeah. So the currency in Iceland is kind of confusing for an American. at least like a American that hasn't been around a currency like that, because it's one of those currencies that works by thousands rather than hundreds. So like the dollar is split up into 100 cents, and I kind of know what a dollar is worth. And even similar currencies, right? Like you have the pound, the British pound, and I'm pretty used to the pound as well, not only because I lived in the UK for a year, but because the value of the pound is a little bit different than the value of the dollar, but it's not like a crazy difference, right? And it still works the same way. 1 pound is split up into 100 pence. And then even other currencies like the rupee in India, you know, even though that doesn't have, well, it does have like a sub-denomination, but you don't see it that much. It's easy to kind of figure like 100 rupees is sort of about $1. Like not exactly, but it's like 100 cents sort of, right? So Icelandic krona though, it's like closer to like it's not even perfect, but it's closer to like 1,000 krona or kroner. I don't remember exactly how it's pronounced, the multiple, but 1,000 krona is about $1. So that's kind of like, whoa, hang on a second, this is sort of confusing. So I went and I bought a sandwich when I was there. I bought a sandwich and a soda, and it was like, as I was using the self-checkout thing, it was like, okay, this is gonna be 20,000 krona. And then also, they're one of those countries that sometimes instead of a decimal point, they use a comma. I've seen that in Canada before too, but it kind of screws with your perception, because if you're used to seeing the comma as like a hundreds place thing rather than a decimal point, it also makes it look weird. So like, when I was checking out at this little store in the airport, it was like this sandwich and the soda is gonna be 20, comma 000, comma 00 krona, and I was like, am I about to pay $200 for a sandwich? But no, it ended up being like $15. But it's confusing because it's like 20,000, and then not only that, but also then the comma 00 for cents. Well, not cents, because it's all just one unit, but yeah, it's it was like, oh my god. Well, no, actually, I guess there is a subunit of krona. I don't know what it is. Anyway, yeah, that was a little confusing for me. Now I understand it, but apparently also, even though you can get like paper currency in Iceland, apparently like not that many places actually use it anymore. That was something I was reading about, because I was thinking like maybe someday it would actually be kind of cool maybe to go and just visit Iceland on its own. But that was something I was reading about, that apparently like it's almost exclusive like card usage there now. No stim shot. Man, talking about the sandwich that I had in the Iceland airport is making me hungry for a ham and cheese sandwich. Oh, that reminds me, something I was really sad about when I visited the UK. You guys have probably heard me talk before about my love for the Poundland meal deal. Poundland doesn't have meal deals anymore. I was distraught when I saw that. So when I went to visit my girlfriend this last time, it was a little unfortunate because actually she had to work one of the days that I was there. So like, and I also already wasn't there for as many days as usual. But so the day that she had work, I decided to kind of use it to go out and do anything that I wanted to do in the UK that like she doesn't really like to do, or like that that she wouldn't really care if I did without her. So like she doesn't really like gambling, and I don't gamble a ton, but I've not really been like proper gambling in the UK because when I was there as a student I didn't really have any money, and then previously I didn't really think to do it. So I had been a few times, but like not really that much. But so I went and I decided to do a little bit of gambling, so I did that, and like I also went and did some shopping and stuff. But anyway, so one of my first stops when I was there, after like I wanted to go to Poundland, and I was like, cool, because Poundland opens kind of early. I was like, I'll get myself a Poundland meal deal, and I'll get myself, I needed to get hand sanitizer and tissues, because like in the UK, that's probably something you're going to want to have on hand, just because there's not as many public bathrooms in the UK as there is in the US. And the other thing too is like it's cold there, so like your nose is probably gonna run a lot. So I was like, you know, I gotta get tissues and hand sanitizer and Poundland meal deal. Went to Poundland, and they have like changed up how Poundland works since I was there last, and I really am not a big fan of it. And the easiest way for me to describe it is kind of through an analogy to American stores. So Poundland used to be kind of like a Dollar General. So even though it has dollar in the name, Dollar General isn't really like a dollar store. Dollar General is kind of like a mini supermarket, you know? Like Dollar Generals usually, they don't always have groceries, but they'll have household stuff. They'll have snacks and sodas, and there'll be like a small selection of sort of everything. They'll have like pens, paper, like cat food, some clothes, maybe some like basic soap and body wash, stuff like that. So a store like that. Poundland used to be kind of like a Dollar General. Now though, they have changed and they're almost more like a Dollar Tree, which for those of you who may not be familiar with American stores, a Dollar Tree is kind of a, like, it is an actual dollar store. Like everything inside of a Dollar Tree is usually, I think it's $1.25 is how much most things in there cost. It used to be $1, but then, you know, the pandemic and inflation and everything costs way too much money now, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, but now, like, so they still have some food in there, but they don't have the meal deal. A bunch of the stuff in there now is, like, some of it's cheaper, but some of it's, like, cheaper in quality. I was not a fan. I didn't really like it. And then like I couldn't get hand sanitizer there. I like spent like a good 15 minutes wandering around this Poundland trying to find hand sanitizer. Couldn't find hand sanitizer anywhere. So I ended up going to, I asked one of the employees, I was like, do you have hand sanitizer? No, we don't carry that. And I was like, oh dang, like that sucks. So I had to go to a Savers instead, and that like wasted a bunch of time my day. Or a bunch of time that day. So yeah, that made me really sad. So instead I had to get meal deals from like Sainsbury's and stuff. Which I mean, they're good, but it's not the same. It's just not the same, you know? Oh. Oh, I should take advantage of that fire sale actually. I want to try buy some more perks though too, because I have plenty of money to do so. Oh, seems interesting.
New rifle. Lucky me.
What are you, bro? I'll stick with this little thing for a second and maybe try to pack a punch this. See what it looks like. What was I doing though? Wonder Fizz. I already have that. Mule Kick? Well, I don't really need that. Okay. I don't know why I just bought those perks. I really didn't need those ones. I probably should have bought... although I don't know if there's a limit on perks. No, okay, I don't think there is. I should have bought Deadshot Daiquiri and PhD Flopper. I don't know why. Of all the perks, I bought like the two that I don't need. I'm thinking tomorrow, or I guess today now, Christmas Eve, my mom and I might try to do some baking. She got a bunch of stuff to bake some cookies and stuff, so that would be nice. I feel like in past years it's been a little hard sometimes to focus on Christmas. It kind of feels like in general over the past few years, holidays and like in general have been a little hard to focus on. It feels like people haven't been as enthusiastic about them, and this year, even Christmas feels a little bit that way. Like, I feel like I don't see as many people with lights up and stuff, and I don't know if it's I don't know what the cause is. I don't know if it's maybe just kind of the surrounding world and how there's a lot of kind of rough stuff going on right now. But it is nice to hopefully be able to do some holiday specific stuff tomorrow, and especially for me, I got kind of lucky this year with having a good amount of time off for the holidays compared to previous years, that I actually have some time to like hang out and maybe do some holiday things.
Serves you right for standing so close.
I didn't even mean to use a stim shot, but okay.
Combat bow on the hunt.
You know what? I was kind of saying earlier how the RPG is not usually like a great zombies weapon, but it's turning out to be pretty okay in this run. Would be better if I had PhD flopper this, that way I wouldn't have to worry about damaging myself. Although I'm not sure, it doesn't seem to be damaging me that much, so that might be part of the pack-a-punch with it.
Get the fuck out of here. Well, I'm an efficient son of a bitch. Stalking the
Megaton is split. Oh, I missed it. I think I got it that time.
wood section.
Now we're getting to the point though where the combat bow isn't even doing a ton of damage against the Megaton. The thing is the combat helicopter, or whatever it's called, the helicopter call in is actually really good too. But if you call that in, the Megaton will actually go and hide. And so you won't usually be able to damage it with the helicopter because it goes and hides so fast. So with Christmas now being tomorrow, actually, because it's Christmas Eve now, you know, there's not that many days left in this year, and honestly, like I'm looking forward to next year. I've got hopeful vibes for next year, and I usually I guess I kind of feel that way generally whenever the year changes. Like I always kind of try to go into the next year with a positive outlook. But yeah, I think hopefully next year will be a pretty nice year. This whole decade has been kind of iffy though. It kind of, I mean, it's like back when I remember when it turned 2020, I remember being like kind of excited. I remember like, because I was about to graduate college and everything seemed to be going pretty well. And then it was like all of a sudden, it just, dang, dude, what happened? It was like, we had a pandemic, and then, you know, there's been like multiple wars, and then all this crazy political stuff and everything. It's like, oh my god. So I'm hoping that the this next half of this decade will be pretty all right. Hopefully. Sorry for sniffling. That happens to me sometimes. Sometimes when I stream, I think it's because I talk a lot. I think sometimes that like almost messes with my sinuses somehow. Where is PhD slider? There we go. Yeah, because I guess there is no flopping in Black Ops Cold War. There's no dolphin dive. Speaking of Call of Duty stuff, I've been hearing some of the supposed leaks for the next Call of Duty game, and I've heard that apparently like there may be it may actually be a new sub-series, which would be cool. That was something I've said before that I think that Call of Duty is kind of in need of is a new sub-series or even like a sequel to one of the other sub-series that hasn't really had an entry. Like, oh, bro, what? Come on. Like, dang, I just lost like 3 of my perks. like Call of Duty Ghosts or Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare. Um, but supposedly it's gonna be like a brand new entry, so that'll be maybe kind of cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what that may be. I think also the leak said something about it would be taking place in like the 90s and 2000s, which would be really cool, because I like that time period. Oh. Where did my tomb? Oh, I guess I should have used Tombstone rather than Revive myself, because then I would have, yeah, okay, that would have made more sense. I was thinking about, oh god, where are you on? I was thinking about ending the stream there, but I think I am going to play a little bit of that other map for a minute, and then I'll probably end the stream, because I am getting pretty tired. It's getting pretty late. Forsaken. This is the other map. Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of Forsaken, because this one also, if I remember right, it's not too hard to get to the Pack-a-Punch, and I like this map quite a bit. This is also one of these ones that has like an interesting starting area, because I think it's like an endless round or whatever at the beginning. Burger Town. Man, making me hungry. Keep talking about food even though I already feel kind of bloated.
Teleportation was successful. Team has reached the Omega Complex.
I told you this was the place, Weaver. Get your team inside. I will provide Overwatch.
Strike team. Zykov is mission priority 1. Get to him before Omega. Bring him home.
Depth perception. Yeah, the rounds just keep like going in this little area.
Mobile meat puck. Clean shot.
Yeah, see, it already has jumped us up to round 3, and we've only been in here for like less than a minute. Round 4 all of a sudden. I wonder if it's ever been explained in Call of Duty Zombies lore, like what the rounds actually are.
Undead asshole neutral. Kinda quiet now.
I think there is a limit in this little area to how many rounds you can kind of speed through, because I'm sure for like speedrunners this would be a useful thing. Yeah, I think it only brings you up to round 5.
Warning. Dimensional breach in progress. Report to safe zones and await further instructions.
Requiem. How nice of you to join us. Just in time to witness us achieve.
Oh, hang on. Oh, aside from yawning, I have to go wipe my nose again. I'll be right back again. Alright, I have returned. I was saying earlier about how I was kind of craving Dairy Queen. I was looking up to see if Dairy Queens are actually open tomorrow, and it looks like it's one of those things that kind of depends on your local store. So we'll see. Like I said, though, at the same point, I don't like to be that guy. Like, I don't like to be the person that goes to the restaurant or whatever on Christmas Eve, because it's like, then I'm just contributing to the problem for why places are even open on Christmas Eve anyway.
Glad you're here to witness my crowning achievement. I'm certainly not about to let you ruin this moment.
Oh god,
They are in the
yawning.
observation tower. There must be a way up there.
I don't know if I will even. Well, I guess I might as well try to open the back bunch. I was gonna say I don't know if I'll open it because I'm not sure if I'm really gonna play this map for. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play this map for that long. Try to eliminate some of these zombies with this giant pistol while I have it. I think, yeah, then I need to go get parts for that, which is kind of a pain.
There should be parts around somewhere that can repair.
'Cause you have to open up like all the stores here on the main street, I think. Need a fry basket from here, if I remember correctly. There it is.
They're gone. Who's next?
I like how the cheeseburgers are legendary.
Omega's collapse will be assured.
Uh-oh. Out of ammo. Doritos! Need to find a wall by. One over here, I think. Yep, right there. And I don't have enough money for it. Okay. Might have to do some clever fisticuffs here for a minute. Oh, bonus points, okay. Almost have enough money to buy this. Oh, what is that? now's about time for a legendary cheeseburger. Alright, now I can afford this.
Does the job, then some.
Yeah, I probably should have opened it up this way, because if I remember right, this is actually the easiest way to get back to the main street. I need to try to conserve my ammo a little bit too. Oh, they just hit me. I didn't actually need to buy a wall buy. I could have just used an ammo box, and I think there's one somewhere around here.
Who's next?
Where'd that max ammo go? What did I need in here? I needed a projection thing, yeah.
Zykov is the key to barring the Forsaken from entering our world.
And then like a TV in here, monitor, I think. Where is it? Oh, I see it, I see it.
Target down.
Zykov already picked his favorite, me. Once I bring him through, he'll help us capture the Forsaken.
Yeah, I remember my dad telling me when I was younger, or well, I mean, in general, like previously, my dad telling me about when he was younger, how like they didn't have a color TV at first, because I don't remember exactly when it was that color TVs like became a thing, but I remember my dad saying it took him and my grandparents and his siblings and stuff on that side of the family, it took them actually a little while to get one. Yeah. It's actually pretty interesting if you ever get the chance. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. There's the footage of oh god, what was it that I needed in here? This. There's the footage of like the first color TV broadcast or whatever. Or like the first, I don't remember if it's the first color TV broadcast in general or what the exact deal with it was, but like the first, like it might have been like the first presidential speech in color or whatever. There's this one thing, and it's like, I think it was whoever was president at the time. He's like talking, and it's in like black and white, and then they like turn on the color TV stuff like right then, which is kind of interesting. Sometimes though, there really is something about like black and white photos and videos though that looks so nice. Like there's, I don't know, I guess it's just because there's like more crisp contrast between the two colors, because there's only black and white rather than, or I mean black and white and gray, but rather than like all the different colors, it's just like an interesting like there's a sharpness to black and white that isn't always there when like it's in color. I kind of want to thin out the horde a little bit, because once I get up into the tower there that teleporter is going to lead me to, there's going to be an abomination that spawns in that I have to fight.
Kinda quiet now, ain't you? Hostile down.
seems the subterranean level is still under lockdown.
And any second now. Oh my goodness. An abomination. Whatever will I do? Oh my god, he's fast. You guys remember when zombies first started adding like boss characters? Crazy. It really is crazy to think of how much like has changed in Call of Duty Zombies since Nocturne and Toten. Trying to think of what the first boss zombie really was in Call of Duty. I guess maybe it was George in Black Ops 1. But he wasn't really a boss. Like, you just sort of had to stay away from him. You didn't actually have to fight him. Yeah, I guess that's who it was. And then in Black Ops 2 Transit, so like the very first map, that had the Avogadro. But I guess it would have been George in Black Ops 1. Because I'm trying to think, though, I don't think there were really any other bosses in Black Ops 1. In World at War, I'm pretty certain didn't have any bosses. I'm like pretty 100% on that one.
Warning. Ethereum radiation at unsafe levels. Start when the lockdown lifted.
Okay, so now I've unlocked the Pack-a-Punch up here. Here's the thing that gets me, right? Like, so up here there's a button you're supposed to press for the Easter egg. And whenever where is it? Somewhere up here. Where'd it go? It's on one of these walls. Right here. Whenever I've tried to press that button... Oh god, I gotta get out of here. Whenever I've tried to press that button in order to do the Easter egg, it literally never works, and I don't know if I'm missing a step or something, but it like doesn't activate. I wonder where the mystery box is right now. I can't tell, actually. Not sure. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, never mind then. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there, because it's pretty late and I'm pretty tired. This Christmas stream maybe didn't have like as much as usual, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the little experiment that I did with that the slideshow at the beginning there. Thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas Eve. I know that I did this like a day early. I don't know next year if I'll do like day early or on Christmas Eve or what I'll do next year, but thank you guys for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and just happy festive season in general. I will see you guys in the future. I've got a lot of stuff on the way, but it might still be a little while until I upload anything or do another stream. Just because like I need to focus on applying for some jobs and stuff, and I still have like a lot to edit on various things. So anyway though, thank you guys for watching. have a nice day. I will see you in other stuff in the future.